Hi, welcome to Citizen Survival Plan. My name's John. In today's video, I wanted to put together a list for the absolute cheapest way to get prepared. If you're on a budget and you don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to spend, this video is for you. Some of the items on this list can even be taken out and supplemented with stuff you already have at home. So, without further ado, let's just get right into this list. The first item on this list is absolutely going to be water. Instead of getting a Berkey or something more expensive, I picked the LifeStraw family. This offers a lot of water filtration every day at a low cost. This thing's going to come in just about 60 bucks. For your food, you're obviously just going to have some food in your pantry, but I love freeze-dried meals in an emergency. I can cook them right in the bag without dishes. All I need is some boiling water. For this, I'm going to get a Mountain House bucket. This can be had for just about 100 or 110 bucks. The more you buy, the longer you can survive, but just getting one of these pails is going to put you in a good spot. Okay, for cooking, just a basic Coleman stove. These can really be had for anywhere between $60 and maybe $110, depending on what option you want to get. Also, I want to mention, if you already have a grill at your home with a propane burner on the side, you can entirely skip this item. Okay, for fuel, cooking, and heat, this item is necessary. It is going to tie into two other items I'm going to mention later on in this list. But the Flame King refillable 1-pound tanks. These are good so you don't have to bring tanks into your house, the big 20-pound grill tanks, and they save you a lot of money over buying the disposable ones. Okay, for heat, this is not as necessary if you live in a house with a fireplace or a wood stove. So if you have that, you can even skip this item. But a buddy heater for the rest of us. These are very, very important, not just for keeping warm or keeping your children warm. A lot of us have kids, that's going to be important. But the first item ties into this one is you cannot let your water filter freeze. Having a buddy heater to keep a portion of your house warm and from freezing is going to be very necessary. These can be had anywhere from $90 to $130 for the larger one, and you can pick whatever one you want. All right, the next item is medicine, specifically antibiotics. I can't account for all the medicine that you need and what's already at your house. Just an antibiotic that you would normally take. You can go to pet websites or call Jace Medical. That's a little bit more expensive. The way I go is I just find it online on pet websites. This can be had for just about 30 bucks for a bottle of 100 of these. The next on this, tying in with medicine, is a good first aid kit. I'm not going to skimp on this. This is going to cost you about 140 bucks for a really good one, linked below. Here's one people don't think about too much, but it's going to be on the list as it's super cheap and it is going to make your life a lot better. A manual clothing washer is super cheap, about 25 bucks for this. All you need is a 5-gallon bucket and some detergent that you should already have at your house. And if the grid is down for a prolonged period of time, you can wash some outfits for yourself and your kids. This is going to be super helpful from preventing skin infections and just being filthy and dirty the whole time during this emergency. Again, tying in with that, you're going to want to be able to clean yourself a little bit. A solar shower is going to be really helpful. These can be had for about 35 bucks. Just a way to keep yourself clean, your children, everybody is going to need to keep up on hygiene, not just for vanity, but to keep yourself from being infected. Okay, you're going to need a little bit of power, and this is going to also tie into another item in the list that you're going to need to keep charged. But we're gonna want a little power station. My pick for this is the little Jackery 300. I typically think Jackery stuff is always really overpriced, but I like their little Jackery 300. It's priced right, and it's a nice, durable little unit, and Jackery has a good warranty on it. So just keeping flashlights, lanterns, and radios recharged, you're gonna wanna have a little bit of power. Again, if you can afford bigger stations, go ahead. This is your basic budget list. To go along with this, we're going to need a cheap little solar panel. This is an outdoor solar panel I like better than using the stuff that comes with Jackery or the other power stations that sell the foldable solar panels with it. They're typically overpriced, and this one can stay outside. I have kept a couple of these outside using with different projects that I have going on, and I've never had a problem. Little cheap $45 solar panel. Plugs right into the Jackery. I'm also going to have a cable that will connect it to your Jackery linked below. Okay, so talking about communication. 2 GMRS radios for communicating back and forth when we don't have cell phones or cell towers are running. GMRS radios are great for a lot of things. You can communicate with each other. You can communicate to people who have bigger base stations set up. You can listen to FM radio. You can type in a lot of emergency broadcast signals, police, EMS, the Red Cross, etc. You name it. You can save these as channels and listen to them during an emergency. If you want to see some videos on how to program and how to use your radio, I have a playlist on my channel that is dedicated to radio programming and how to use them. These radios can be had anywhere from like $20 the whole way up to $150, depending on how nice of a radio you want. I will put a couple of radios that I recommend and like linked below. Let's get into security and defense. Again, this video is for somebody who doesn't have anything and is not used to firearms. So don't take this advice as the ultimate defensive weapon. But if you don't have anything right now and you want to get into something cheap, useful, and easy to use, there's nothing like a Ruger 1022. I want to give at least a brief explanation on why I picked this over a handgun or an AR-15 or a PCC or something else. The 1022 is a great rifle for a new person to pick up and be able to defend themselves and do other tasks with. Low recoil, low report, and simple to use. You can pick this up for about $300. And you can get a pack of quality ammo for about $40 for 500 rounds. A lot of people say that you cannot use this for a defensive weapon. I disagree. If you run good ammo, like the CCI standard velocity ammo, or any other quality CCI 22 ammo, you should be just fine. I've used a lot of this ammo. It rarely ever fails. Last on the list, you're just going to want to have a little bit of light. A good 1000 lumen flashlight. It's an Energizer rechargeable one, so we can charge this back up with our power station. It's about $34. It's pretty good. And sometimes when you just shine light on people, if they're doing something that around your house that you don't want them there for, sometimes a bright light is all it takes for someone just to kind of move away. So good to have, good security, and also just a lantern for moving around in your house in the dark. You want to have a little bit of light so we're not just living like cave dwellers in a dark home. It's going to be very helpful just to have a little bit of light. This item is cheap enough too, and it's rechargeable with your Jackery solar power station that I listed earlier. This thing comes in at about $24. I hope you enjoyed the video and this at least gave you some ideas. Again, you don't have to pick every item exactly the way that I listed it, but this is to cover all bases and to give you some budget options to getting prepared. All of these items should come in just about $1,500 and under if you were able to skip some of them. And this is a good place to start. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.